flex on the chin. Just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 10-Minute Misconduct, your unofficial FPHL podcast. As always, I am Lee, joined by Anna, Edric,
Hey. Hello, how are you?
and Taylor. Welcome.
Hey.
All right, guys, another great episode, and lined up for you tonight. We have the reigning cruiserweight king of the rink, the king of Ice Wars, Justin Bull Schmit, on the show.
Love him.
We've been looking forward to this one, God, forever, and I have no doubt this is going to be another great one. And okay, full disclosure, we're doing the intro and outro a few days later. So
What?
Full disclosure here, we had a lot going on with our live stream. We'll get into that after we're done with Justin. But again, this was an episode we have been looking forward to since the day it was booked. And when we found out we were working with Ice Wars, we're like, shit, this has to be our first Ice Wars episode. So, of course, we're bringing in Justin. And Anna, good job getting him.
He's honestly awesome. He's been such a great guy on and off the ice, and I'm so glad I got to meet him in person and hang out after the games and stuff out back of the arena. So, if you're watching, Schmitty, we love you, dude. So thank you for coming on.
As a rival fan, it's always a pleasure to see him at your arena. He is a good player and a good enforcer. So it's great to have him on our show tonight.
I actually met Smitty at the last trip to Winston when I met some of the other Carolina folks. And I'm telling you, the dude is just downright outstanding. Like, he's a down-to-earth kind of guy. He loves what he's doing. He's living his best life. And
For sure.
he feels very blessed to be in the position that he's at, and that speaks volumes for himself.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a great
Absolutely.
guy. So we got a little FPHL news, a few things coming out. MGM, Marquise Grandmentis, finally back in the league, signing with Delaware. I can't wait to see him come in. He's, again, another nice guy, a fan favorite, and, he seems to always give everything he has out there on the ice, so I'm looking forward to seeing him again.
That man's got wheels, and he can puck handle, and he don't mind slinging them.
Yep, agree completely. I know in Columbus he was a fan fave overnight, including me. I have a T-shirt with his name on it, and I'm always going to keep it because he's awesome.
Yeah.
And don't we have some other? You're probably going to see us like on Friday. We had our live show last Tuesday, but don't we have some information about somebody interested in bringing Danville back to the FPHL? Don't we have something like that?
Yeah, hell, the guy owns half the freaking league. So, yeah, Barry Soskin looking to bring the Dashers back, which, personally, they never should have left. The fact that this Ellen Tully and the SPHL just swoops in and pretty much stole the market, and I called it from the beginning. It wasn't going to work. The fans weren't going to accept it like they did the Dashers, and they didn't.
And they had two different, the SPHL and the FPHL both have completely different operating costs that they have to go by. And with the fan base that the SPHL would draw in Danville versus the FPHL, I don't understand why the SPHL would even think it was going to be successful going into a market like Danville with an attendance of, in the FPHL, it was like around 1,000. And in the SPHL, you need more than that to meet operating costs,
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that a little bit more after we're done with Justin. So let's go ahead and bring Justin Schmit in.
All right, guys, let's welcome Columbus River Dragon, Justin Schmit, to the show. How you doing tonight?
Oh, not too bad. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing good, hanging in there. I know we got a lot of questions for you. We're pretty excited to have you on, so thank you for joining us.
No, I'm excited to be here, you guys.
Thanks for being here.
So sometimes we have our fans and guests like make some questions. So the first question is going to be from a Columbus River Dragon fan named Hannah Lawson. Will we see you at the next Ice Wars?
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. I'll be on the next Ice Wars show. We haven't. I met with AJ up in Danbury this weekend. We haven't confirmed a date for sure yet, but obviously Ice Wars is the Ice Wars family is a huge part of my my livelihood. So being a part of it is, yeah, I'll be there whether I'm defending my title or my crown, I'm not too sure, but I'll be there in some regard for sure.
Yeah, we're planning on being there. That's why we're doing Ice Wars month here. At least me and Anna are planning on being up there, and we're so looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. I know it is.
Yeah, it's been being a part of that family. With AJ and Charlie and Sean McMorrow and John Morasti and Dean Mayrand and Dan Amesbury. It's a pretty huge, it's a very we're a very close knit family with Ice Wars. So yeah, so any opportunity I get to be a part of it is pretty neat, pretty special to me.
Absolutely.
So, who would you say was your toughest opponent when you're out in there fighting on the ice? Who was your toughest opponent to date, you think?
Like in my career, or
Yeah, let's go for it all career.
Jeepers! I fought so many tough guys in my career. You know what I mean? I'd say probably Brett Angel was pretty tough. Matt Goody from Richmond was really tough. Jason Beatty in Fort Collins, Colorado, with the Colorado Eagles. He was a tough dude. There's so many. Like I don't know if I could put like a one toughest guy, because I've taken beatings from pretty much everybody you can name. At this level, probably Ryan Devine, I think, he's playing in Knoxville now. He was in Watertown last year. He was the toughest guy I fought at this level, hands down. AMZ was really tough. Me and AMZ hung 2 lickings on me here in Columbus, actually. So probably at this level, AMZ or Devine, or Ryan Devine for sure.
So everybody's aware Columbus is coming to Carolina this weekend. It's going to be a huge weekend as far as standings. I mean, I think Carolina's only 9 points behind you guys. Anyway, what do you have to look forward to this weekend?
It's just exciting now coming for us coming down the stretch. Like every game's a playoff game, Like and with Carolina and it being a division game against a team that's just creeping up on us in the standings, especially being in Salem, the fans and the atmosphere in that city, it's a pretty special thing for us, like if guys don't get excited for games like that, then they're probably in the wrong line of work, you know what I mean?
So you guys still hear me? My headset just went out.
I can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. So you kind of started out with Huntsville, playing against the Cottonmouths, playing in Columbus. Mm-hmm. And you got to play and fight against guys like Craig Stahl,
mm-hmm.
So what is it like knowing you had, legendary fighters like Stahl, Jerome, Dougie Mann, and now you're in filling those shoes? What is it like knowing you're kind of filling those shoes now in Columbus?
I mean, like guys like Jerome and Stalzy and Manor left some pretty big boots to fill. I don't think I could ever fill the boots those guys do. I just try to play my role and be as good of a teammate as I can and being a good ambassador for the sport and for the culture that those guys definitely laid down for us in Columbus. Like, the Columbus is a hockey town, and it's we're a long ways south, and for hockey to be embraced as well as it is, I think the biggest thing for me is just to be a good ambassador for the sport, and be as involved as I can into a community that's embraced me as well as Columbus has. And but to be out to I to even be mentioned in the conversation of Jerome and Dougie Mann and Craig Stahl is pretty humbling to me.
So I think a lot of people that follow you know that you have many talents between bullfighting, stand-up comedy, and hockey, obviously, Ice Wars. Do you have any kind of secret talents that maybe some of the fans don't know about?
Oh shoot, I don't. I'm kind of an open book, you guys. I don't know if I have my secret talents. No, I can't play guitar. I can't whistle. I play. I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty good karaoke singer, I guess. I don't know, you guys. I'm an open book. Everybody seems to know everything I'm good at.
Yeah. So how did you get your Tub Talk Tuesday thing going? Because I know we tune into that all the time.
Tub Talks is kind of a funny thing. It's funny that it took the direction it did. So like, I don't know, probably 7-8 years ago, I was getting ready for a fight. And my manager at the time said, you really got to get more active on social media, and you got to start like, interacting with the fans more. Not like I'm not very handy when it comes to social media and Instagram and all that stuff. And I was having a cold tub, and I was like, maybe I'll go live in this cold tub. And I was just having a cold tub, and it had however many thousand viewers, and then they were like, man, you got to keep doing this. So I just kind of continued it on. It took a serious, like Comedy Central was trying to buy the rights to it at one point, like for me to produce just me being being a comic in the tub, So it was never anything other than me making kind of like a mockery of what we were doing at the time. And then it became something else, and then now every now and then I like to do. I really got to watch my P's and Q's when I do it, though, because I tend to get pretty political, and you guys know that we're on. We're on a pretty tight leash when it comes to what we can say or do when it comes to politics, especially with the social media and everything, right? So,
right.
I can't state my honest opinion very, very abruptly.
So, like what Aaron was saying, like you do your comedy and you have your other venues that you're doing. You remind me a lot like of Darren McCarty. Darren McCarty went on a comedy tour up here in Michigan for a while and all that stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Darren comedy.
Was that him and Whitey are pretty good buds. So him and Whitey put together in Detroit, which is great.
Yep.
Darren is one of my idols, probably one of the guys I looked up to the most. I didn't know he was. I didn't even know he was that funny.
Yeah, he has a band. He has a band too. He has like a little rock band. He did like a little garage band.
The Grinders.
Yes. Yep, the Grinders. He did that. He has that. He has a time tour. So I mean, maybe if they're looking for a backup drummer or something like that, you can just take your frustrations out and just slide some drums.
I'll play. I'm not very good at it. I'm not, like I said. My family, everyone in my family are really, really, really talented musicians, and I was like, I couldn't play anything. I play. I'm like a really good drunken karaoke singer.
So that's what I guess from what hearing this and all that stuff. I mean, to put a label on you, you're like the Darren McCarty of the PHL. You have the comedy thing going, and you got your little. Maybe it's not the grinders, but you're grinding yourself in the tub, which is kind of cool. But if I didn't mean it that way. Sorry.
The views of Edric do not necessarily represent the views of 10-minute misconduct.
I didn't mean that. Oh my god, no! But do you have any for any young, if you're an ambassador, if you like to come off as an ambassador to young players and all that stuff, would you have any advice to the young kids that are up and coming and starting up? What they should focus on their game? What part of the game should you focus on, or whatnot?
Honestly, as far as skills go for young players coming up, like junior age kids or just breaking into the minors, I would say become work on your skating, 100% work on your skating, and the most important thing, hands down, the most important thing you could ever be is a good teammate. Especially at this level, nobody gives a fuck about your stats at this level. You can have a million assists, you could lead the league in scoring. At this level, it's about they want to know how well you adapt to a system. If you're going to make it to the next level, they want to know how well you adapt to a system, and how good you are in the locker room, right? Your
Right.
stats mean zero at this level. But the human being you are in the locker room is going to carry you to the next level.
Right. Speaking of that, I'll just add one more quick thing before Taylor takes over. But when you were out in Port Huron talking about being a teammate and all that stuff, I saw that you were next to Greco when something was going on in the stands. Do you know what was going on? What Greco was yelling at the stands about? I know you were saying something to him, like you were trying to calm him down and all that stuff.
I'm not too sure exactly what went down, what transpired there. I try not to. I'll interact with the fans off the ice once the game's over, but what went down while the game was going on, I'm not too sure. I do know that, I got the opportunity to meet Greco's mom and dad, which is pretty special to me, and they're absolutely wonderful people, and I was very, very fortunate to have the opportunity to interact with them and meet Greco's mom and stuff, and she was so thankful, because Greco's just young.
That's awesome.
And his mom and his dad were just like, thank you for looking after my boy, which is very, very special to me, because when I started out, I had John Gibson and Mike DeGurse and Dan Bucella, and they were, they got I got the opportunity to introduce them to my family and stuff. So it was pretty neat to be the older guy, and it was to have a young kid like Greco's parents say, thank you for looking after my boy. But yeah, as far as what went on in the stands, that's above my pay grade.
You did a good job of trying to calm him down, because I saw you were trying to defuse the situation on the bench. It was great. You were like, calm down or something like that. It was cool.
Yeah, it's funny. I play the role, of looking after my teammates and stuff. But I think I've been around long enough and seen enough that I can, kind of diffuse the situation better than I can ignite a situation, if that makes sense.
Right.
It's part of being a veteran leader.
Yes. Taylor?
Okay, so everybody knows about Carolina's previous trip to Columbus with the incident with Basner and Greco in the hallway, blah blah blah. Anyways, are you and Greco are y'all gonna rekindle y'all's relationship with Bazarin, or has there been any talks of that, or is it just gonna be by whatever?
You guys,
happens?
to be 100% honest with you, the most important thing the most important thing about this weekend is us
Gotta
is
play
playing hockey,
first.
right? You know what went down and the personal conflict and stuff. That should be secondary to collecting points in Carolina. You know, and you know, I can't speak for anything that went down outside the rink and stuff. I know I have a great relationship with Garrett Rutledge and probably the majority of the Carolina players off the ice. We have a great relationship. We're all just human beings trying to do a job. So I mean, you know, I think we're gonna have to let, you know, the playing do the talking this weekend. You know, if emotions get the better of guys, which they happen to from time to time, you know, it's going to happen. But I don't think you're going to see anything out of the ordinary in Carolina this weekend, though.
I didn't figure. I know the games are like more meaningful than just, you know, trying to be revengeful or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can't win games fighting.
No, that's exactly it. Like, you know, like emotions and competing and dropping gloves are a huge part of the momentum of a game. But I mean, when it all comes down to it, the most important part is winning hockey game, right? Like, who gets the last laugh? The guy that wins.
Oh yeah.
So you it's kind of funny. You on your Facebook, you've got pictures of you with all kinds of animals and farm animals. You know, there's a picture with a baby skunk, a baby goat, a potbelly pig. What? I mean, what's the obsession with the animals?
Oh shoot! I don't know. I guess I've always cared about animals. I grew up on a farm, and you know, livestock was our, you know, my family's livelihood, right? So I mean, I've always cared about animals. You know, I grew up hunting and fishing, and you know, hunting's been a big part of my life. You know, my son, he's a really, you know, very, very talented outdoorsman, and you know, you know, interacting with animals has always been a huge part of my life, you know.
I gotta ask, how the hell did the pig end up in your
Oh
book?
shoot, the too late. No. You mean the failure one? No. It's
Whichever one you're willing to talk about.
A friend of mine, she owns she has a 4-legged pig, and she needed someone to watch it one night, and I was just looking at Tyrone. My roommate's laughing his ass off right now, guys. I wish you guys like I think his stomach hurts. I think he's laughing listening to this.
I love it.
Oh yeah, just
That might be the funniest moment we've had yet.
a friend of mine needed someone to watch her 4-legged pig, and I looked after it for. You got my stomach hurts.
Man, are you sure you want to follow that?
You know, the only thing I can follow up with is I know that you particularly love like Great Danes.
Oh,
so, you know, Great Danes over
the
here.
best dogs in the whole world.
For sure. I've got my co-pilot. Let me see if I can. Where's he at?
Booner.
Okay.
How's he feeling? He was getting the shakes
Booner.
there a while ago.
Yeah, he's been doing well with his medication, and if he can go 6 more months with no seizures, then we can kind of wean him off. So we got our fingers
They're the
crossed, but he's been
best.
doing
They're
really
the
well. So thank
dog.
you for
It's such
asking
a
about him.
it's sad they don't live very long. But
My last two made it to like 12 and a half.
yeah, they're funny. They're funny dogs.
Yeah.
Like all they know is the love of humans. That's it. I don't think
Absolutely.
they're very good guard dogs. Somebody break in your
No,
house, they'd be like,
yeah, he
"Yeah,
take your
come
shit.
here. You want to see my stuff? Come on, up the
Yeah,
come on.
100%.
They probably help you carry the
Stuff,
shit out to the car.
Do you want to lay down? I love Danes.
So
me and my little brother have a couple Danes. We don't actually today. Today it was funny. I had to go pick up a teammate of mine at the airport, and I had some time to kill. So I went to the PetSmart, and I was playing with dogs.
I love it.
That's
That's
how
awesome.
my afternoon goes. If I got time to kill them, we'll play with dogs.
I wanted to ask you, I saw your live the other day with like the bouncy castles, and I know that you guys have just a ton of fun, and I love that about the dragons. I wanted to hear if you could tell us anything about the water balloons in Mississippi.
Ooh, you got I didn't see that one coming.
Sorry.
Oh.
No comment is totally an acceptable answer. I totally get
I just
that.
gotta be careful how I word these things.
Right.
So we played Mississippi on Friday, I think, and we won. I think we had 3-3. We had them Friday, Saturday in Mississippi, and then Sunday at home in Columbus. So Friday night we beat them, and then Saturday we had a pregame skate. And I have a pretty good relationship with everybody in Mississippi. Like, we're all buddies, you know. We've all been around long enough to know each other. And I was like, and I know that rink is identical to our rink in Huntsville. Like, every nook and cranny of that rink is identical to the rink I cut my teeth in Huntsville, Alabama. So I was like, you know what would be really funny? While they're pregame skating, if I climbed up in the rafters, up into on the catwalk, and started dropping water balloons on them. So I didn't have any water balloons, so we had like the surgical gloves in our team's medical kit. So I made a bunch of water balloons out of surgical gloves. But like, these things are like those surgical gloves are they're pretty tough. So I climbed up there with a handful of these surgical gloves full of water, and I started dropping them, and they were like bombs. Like, they were actually like they were massive. Like they shook. Like, you could have heard them in New Orleans when they hit the ice. So I was dropping them. So it was it was kind of funny at the time, and then one of their players got a little excited and started yelling at me. But what was funny was he couldn't see where I was, so he was yelling in the opposite was, and I was in the other end of the ring. So I took my hat off and I threw it like off there, and I was like, I'm over here," and he was screaming. But then Justin Barzy, their captain, came up, and he brought me my hat, and he's like, "Don't say I've never done anything for you, Schmit." And he brought me my hat back, and it was all kind of a fun and games. And then we played them that night, and we almost had a bench brawl in warm up because everybody was so worked up about it. It was all just a big joke. You know, the guys that really got it knew that it was all a big joke. I think the young guys thought it was. I think some of the younger guys thought it was, you know, kind of a diss to them losing the night before in their home rink. And then, so we had a line brawl against them off the opening face-off, And then the next night we were in Columbus, and things were getting out of hand again. And me and Pacer, I just said to Pacer, I said, hey, let's just, let's you and I just settle the score. We'll have a fight. Everything will be good. And it started out like, one of me and Pacer's legendary marathons. It started out like it was going to be great. And this poor linesman, I feel so bad too. It was his first pro game. And he went into break, and he just caught an edge. Everybody's tripped. Just happened that he tripped and like wiped out Pacer in the middle of our fight. And so I scooped Pacer out, but yeah, no, the water balloon incident everything's all in good fun. We're so blessed to be able to be doing what we're doing at, to be able to get paid to play a child's game. We're the luckiest people on the planet Earth, I believe. So the water balloon thing was just, it's just fun.
I love that. I made a bunch of memes of the linesman that fell just for fun. I'll have to send them to you sometime because they're hilarious.
Yeah, the poor kid. I really I actually, in the heat of the fight, you don't realize what's happening. And then I saw the video after, and I was like, man, it was his first pro game as a linesman,
That's tough.
Like, oh my God, like this is going to be one of those legendary fights, however many million views being Pacers fights have on YouTube, right? And then for him to wipe out, I felt bad for the kid, but no, well.
That's fine. You have to show care for the linesman. That's pretty cool. Poor guy, even though they're wrong. That's hilarious. So say you get lucky enough to make it to the finals again. Who would you like to see in the finals, and who would you not like to see in the finals if we make it that far?
You know what, you guys? We got such a tough. We're just past the halfway point of the season now. We got Carolina a bunch of times, so I mean, chances are pretty good within our division. We'll play Carolina in our conference finals. I mean, we've had some battles against Danbury. We haven't seen Bingo yet. We have not seen Binghamton once yet this season. So, I mean, Bingo will be, I feel coming out of the North, Bingo's probably the favorite. Just with the personnel they have. And then, I mean, like with the leadership, with Jake Schultz as their captain and that Riley McVeigh kid, their goalie, I think Bingo's probably the favorite in the North, even though they're not the number one team now. Obviously, I would love to play Danbury in the finals. Me and Amesy could have a whole bunch of bloodbath, which would be pretty special for me and Amesy, and I think, the culture of this league, like being probably the last, league where there's some legit tough guys in, so I would love to play Danbury in the finals. I do feel that Bingo's the favorite in that division, but who knows, you guys? There's so much hockey left to be played right now. I mean, we got to take it day by day, All
right. That's true.
We're going to have to wrap it up, but we've loved having you on. I just want to finish out with one more question. I know a lot of us have followed you very closely as you prepared for Ice Wars last time. Are you going to be training just as hard for the Ice Wars that are coming up this time?
100%. If I'm... Obviously, it won't be, now that I have the belt, it'll be a one fight. I'll have to defend my belt against one guy. It won't be a tournament, like I had to.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm 100% dialed in. Like I said, I don't know who my opponent is, but I know that I'm gonna have to defend my title against a very, very tough individual. And yeah, my trainings. Like I said, I'm trying to, to train for a fight and to train for a hockey season are very, very different things, right? You know, like to train for a fight, you got to train for a 2 minute battle. And to be dialed in for the hockey season, it's more of a marathon. But yeah, no, I'll be 100% dialed in, and I know whatever opponent Charlie and AJ put in front of me, I know he's going to be good, and he's going to be prepared, and he's going to be going through the same training I'm going through. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be dialed in for sure. I mean, I've always thought, you know, and I've always said, you know, if you can win, anybody can win a title, but you got to be able to defend your title, and that's the testament of a true champion, is to defend your title. So, I mean, I want to defend my title, and then, you know, to see where the wind blows me from there. But
Well, I
Yeah, I
know that we are
know.
super excited to come
oh
up there
yeah,
and see it.
it'll be
Yeah,
you guys, like the Ice Wars show, the production, they put on such a fantastic, you know, like it was something. It was like a heavyweight title fight. You know, it was pretty neat to be a part of that, and then to be able to be fortunate enough to win it was out of this world. You know, so I mean, you know, as Ice Wars progresses and we get more comfortable and get more accustomed to the situation, I think it's going to be pretty interesting.
yeah, and I want to say real quick. I know the River Dragons have military night coming up, and last season you put my father-in-law's and my grandfather's name on one of your sticks, and from my mother and my wife, they both wanted to thank you for that. You know, you seeing her father's name on that stick brought tears. She's over here crying now. That meant so much to us, Justin. I could not thank you enough for doing that. That meant the world to both of them. You know, words can't express how
You guys
that
got
meant
me
to
all
us.
choked up now too. um,
Oh,
um, yeah, like military appreciation night's always been pretty special to me. Um, no, I can't believe you said that. No, I'm all lost for words. Um, yeah, what those men and those women have gone through for, you know, for me to be able to live the life I want to live, or that I choose to live down here. I can't. There'll never be anything I can say or do to express my gratitude to those people. You know, so to be able to honor them on my hockey sticks was an honor to me. You know, it was. These guys, like when we those military appreciation nights are to me that's like the Stanley Cup Finals. You know, like to be able to honor and pay respect to the men and women that served us, and gave, some of them, all of them gave something, you know, and some of them are still giving it, you know. And it's funny, my best buddy on my team right now is our equipment manager, and he was a special forces guy, and he said, you know, I always see the combat guys, and I always thank them for their service, you know. And he said, you know what, Schmitty, he said, when we came home from war, from Iraq, from Afghanistan, you know, we got parades. He said, you see them old beat up Vietnam, you know, the old crippled guys with the Vietnam hats on. He said, you thank them boys for what they did, because those boys came home from war, and they were children. You know, they couldn't even buy a beer in the United States of America, and they got spit on when they came home, you know. So, so, so to be able, to be able to thank everybody that ever went through a conflict, but especially those Vietnam boys, it's pretty special to me, to be able to shake their hand or buy them a beer at the bar. That's a pretty special experience for me.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to end right there. That everything you just said expresses, I think, every feeling that every American should have towards our military, and the fact that these hockey players are able to honor them the way that they did and the way that you were able to do it. That's I'm sure it's an honor for you. And again, thank you so much. And next, if I ever get to meet you in person, I'll buy
Oh,
you a beer.
I appreciate that, you guys. No, it's such an honor for me to be able to do what I'm still doing, and pay respect to those boys. Like I said, military appreciation night's the biggest night of the year for me. So I'm very blessed and honored to be able to be a part of it.
Well, I
definitely
appreciate you
keep
coming
doing
on
what
this
you're
week.
doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. This has been one of the funnest episodes we've done. You're just awesome. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you guys. I love this stuff.
Yeah, we're definitely have to have
Yeah.
you back for a part 2. There's so much more.
Oh, I'm like an onion. You guys just scrape away
Definitely.
like.
That's why you were crying. That's why you were crying. It was the end.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Schmitty.
Thank you.
Okay,
We'll
guys.
see you next
Thank you so
time.
much. Bye.
Bye now.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
All right, Justin Schmit, thank you so much for joining us. I know for me, it was definitely one of my most favorite episodes we filmed. I think that's probably the hardest we've laughed filming an episode thus far. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
What other news are we covering on our...
Yeah, it's not that often where you can laugh and cry within 2 minutes. But seeing
pretty much.
Seeing how emotional he got when he was
that
talking
man
about what
has
he
for
did
this
for my
country.
family, that shows you the character that man has. And I didn't think I could respect him more than I do now, but my respect for him grew immensely during that interview, and I can't thank him enough for coming on and doing that.
I'm sure it was special for you guys because you're Columbus fans, and probably to you that meant the world. So
Yeah.
Schmit was an awesome guest tonight. Seriously, thank you for being here.
His love for the country is obvious, and that means the world to me. And I'm sure it means the world to you guys and our listeners. And his love for the team. The guy's a team first guy, and everything he said, it just makes me gain respect for him that much more.
Yeah, he showed how much he cares about his team when he won Ice Wars. And the first thing he said was the only thing that would feel better than this was winning a championship with my team. So I love, as much as I love Amesbury and everybody up in Danbury, they're all a class act. I want to see Justin Schmit win a championship. Nobody has worked harder. I don't think anybody in this league that I can think of deserves it more right now than Justin Schmit. So hopefully he can win that championship.
Absolutely. And as you guys know, we will be following Ice Wars very closely. Hopefully we'll get some dates soon that we can announce. And if you guys have not yet checked out our live from the situation up at Vermilion County, please run over and check it out. I know it's a little bit of a long watch, but I think we can all attest that it's just some of the things, we knew things were messed up there, but holy shit, some of the things that we heard, even I was just like, you can't even make it up.
Absolutely. It's an hour and 40-minute watch. So, pop some popcorn, pull up a seat, relax, and just listen to the shocking details that was told by Dante. It was just amazing to know that the players were getting treated such horribly. And so just if you have some time, just go check it out. And also, when you're doing that, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel because it really helps us out in the algorithms.
And, I got to say this, when we got done with our live interview, almost immediately, Dante's phone was blowing up, and pretty much every message and phone call he got was, "Thank you for speaking out. Thank you for telling the truth. Thank you for finally being their voice." Because those guys, they're great players, and they don't want to get blackballed. They don't want retaliation from the league. So obviously they can't speak publicly, but he got all those. Our freaking email and our Facebook Messenger blew up. Like within 20 minutes, we were message after message. We have former coaches reaching out saying, "Hey, yeah, what he's saying is true. But we can't talk." We've got a couple former, front office people, some of them who are willing to talk. So, like Ed said, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, not only for regular episodes, but we're not done. We're going live again in a couple weeks, and you don't want to miss it.
And if you do have any more information and it is a valuable source and you have proof, send it in. You'll be anonymous. You don't have to have anything released to protect your own identity. Send it in. Don't be scared. We will protect you.
Yep. And
we are player advocates at the end of the day.
Yep. And if you're still affiliated with Ellen Tully, or even if it's Ellen Tully herself, if you want to join us for that live stream to give your side of the story, email us or message us on Facebook. We would love to talk to you too.
We're completely transparent. If you want to talk, we'll open our platform for you as well. Yeah. So,
and I wanted to shout out to the people that stepped up and started organizing stuff. We noticed within 24 hours, there's players taking pictures with groceries. There was pizzas delivered. Like, these guys were really starting to, it's definitely the tip of the iceberg, but just to show the hockey community coming together, we had fans from the FPHL, the SPHL, rival teams just kind of coming together in the comments. So, like, shout out to you guys, because y'all rock for getting that done. So thank you.
For sure. There's a lot of time.
Sounds like Boone and Archie give their approval too.
There you go.
That, couldn't be an episode without them making an appearance.
Oh, we love them. We love them. Just like I love my Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie's a sweetie. Yeah. With that being said, I wanted to bring in and talk about our sponsors. We've got Pred TV. They're getting some predators off the streets, making our children safe. So check them out. Check out their YouTube and their TikTok. We've got the Chattahoochee Valley Warriors. They're a great organization that gets veterans into skates and on the ice and some time together. And while you're watching our live, you might want to try out some of Ed's coffee to keep you going.
Yes, thank you very much. The best coffee on the internet. There you go. I'll give myself a cheesy little punchline there. The best coffee on the internet. And we have the links below for that. I know I will comment on any sales we're having going on here. If you want fresh harvested coffee from farm to cup into your house under 3 months, give us a check out.
Yeah, don't forget Pro Hockey News and the Pro Hockey News podcast. Again, if you're interested in covering any team in the FPHL or ECHL, SPHL, Lou's email's in the description. Send him an email, and he'll get you a packet to get you like your test article and see if you're a fit for them. So give them a listen. Their podcast is very good. They talk NHL, all levels, even European hockey. So let's go.
And then
Taylor, we got this weekend. We have the rivalry reignited. Carolina and Columbus. It's time for some payback for the River Dragons.
I don't know about that. I know it's going to be a tough weekend. It's going to be all about hockey this weekend, I believe. As Schmit was saying, obviously, if it comes down to it, then sure, drop the gloves, but it's going to be a skill test.
Well, let's see if Bazarin's willing to drop his purse this time.
Oh.
Well, I can tell you, I know the fans on the Trash Talk page are ready to drop the gloves as soon as that buzzer goes off at the end of the third. So if you haven't checked out our Trash Talk page, jump on over there, because we can get kind of harsh over there. It's kind of fun and a good time, and check us out.
Yeah.
I know up here in Port Huron is going to watch that game down there with popcorn, just waiting to see the reactions from all the fans. We're just waiting to make some memes. Make it so, guys.
Never miss a good meme opportunity.
And
Yes.
And one last thing, we have a guest we were waiting to confirm with. Lee, do you want to tell us about next week's guest?
Yes, we're keeping Ice Wars rolling, and little bit of a change to our normal guest type. We usually have players or coaches. This guy isn't a former player. He isn't a former coach, but he is a producer, executive producer, I believe, for Ice Wars. Basically, it's say if you were born before 1985, maybe, and you were old enough to remember the O.J. Simpson trial. Raise your hand if you remember the O.J. Simpson trial.
Oh no! You're gonna spill the beans, are you?
Yeah.
Oh boy!
I remember the race. Well, I thought it was a race when I was a kid, but I remember the Bronco.
Yeah, but do you remember
the Bronco chase?
You remember O.J. Simpson's roommate, Kato Kalin? We have Kato Kalin. He was O.J. Simpson's roommate, and pretty much if viral was a thing back in the mid-'90s, Kato Kalin would have went viral for his testimony. And, people made fun of him, but I can honestly say, just from watching him, how he's worked with Ice Wars, he seems like a very, very good guy, a nice guy. And, and he's probably the most famous guest we're ever going to have. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't expect to talk too much about the O.J. Simpson thing. We'll have to bring it up for a minute. But the fact that he's a producer, he's an executive with Ice Wars, so it's a pretty big deal. And we want to thank Charlie, Nama, and AJ for setting this up for us and getting us Kalin. This is a great. It's going to be a great interview, I have no doubt, and we're looking forward to digging deeper into Ice Wars and how he got involved.
Yeah, and the behind the scenes of such a kind of different sport, or like almost introducing a new sport into the United States for sure. I think it'd be really cool to see how it all came together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd love to hear how they put going live on internet pay-per-view and just getting everything set up. The synthetic ice. Are they going to have real ice now that they're in Cheyenne? I'm really looking forward to getting into the behind the scenes stuff from Ice Wars. It's going to be a nice little detour from what we usually talk about. And then we have
all right, guys.
And then the rest of our Ice Wars coming up. In case you haven't been listening, we have Daniel Amesbury is going to be on again. We're going to have Justice Smoke on. And and Anna, what? Oh God, I can't remember it. What's the other guy?
He's so handsome. It's that guy named Jawbreaker, and I'm excited to see him. I'm really excited to have him as a guest on the show.
Yeah, Jawbreaker, Bo Cornell. That's look at Anna blushing. She hasn't blushed this much since Doug Schmit called her cute.
That's facts.
So looking forward to the next few weeks, and I do want to say one thing real quick. Welcome back to Tobias Ojic. He's back with
Yes, I'm glad to see that he's back.
After everything he's been through, losing his father and the injury.
Yeah,
we can make fun of him, when later. Now with everything he's gone through, I want to say welcome back, and it is nice to see him back on the ice.
For sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Welcome
all right,
back,
guys.
bud.
Well, drop us a comment in the comment section below. Give us a thumbs up and a subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.
Don't forget
Bye.
the contest. Go to our Facebook page. All the details are there.
Bye, guys. And take care.
You take a few licks on the chin. Just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn.